Shanti, peace to you, peace to me. Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Peter and the question today is, do you feel like you are alone? Alone? Are we alone in this universe? Are we alone? We're all cut off. It's Jim Morrison who put in one of his songs, we're all drifting now in blind orbits, helpless and all alone. He was talking about the lack of coherence and consciousness that we were not recognizing as human beings in this five sense reality projection or perception that we see in front of us. We don't see that. And another good way of looking at it is, if they make you feel like you're alone, they win. And who are they? The big they. Well, look at it. Look at today's society. It's really empowering to realize that everything is being polarized. We had religious polarization in the past, where if you were a Jew you wouldn't speak to a Muslim, you wouldn't speak to a Christian, you wouldn't speak to a Buddhist, and they were trying to polarize you, separate you from that. And then you had that with politics. So if you're on the left you wouldn't speak to the people on the right. If you were liberal you wouldn't speak to either. That's happening even more today. And it's all polarizing, separating you, and it's coming to the point where the mean that we live in is we're becoming so separated as human beings for many different reasons. We're becoming polarized. We feel like we're more alone. And most of my younger childhood days I felt so much alone, because I had all these visions and perceptions of what this world actually is, compared to what is actually presented to me from all these so-called intelligent intellectuals. I'm going, well, I don't think they're right over there, and what's happening over there? And when you ask about over there, go, well, you think too much. You think too much. You're too moralistic. You're over the top. You're too sensitive is a good word they used a lot. Too sensitive. Well, Peter, you're too sensitive about all of this stuff. So no, look at this. Especially when it came to animal cruelty and the way that animals are prepared for food and things like that. I said, no, this is not right. Or the way that human beings are sent to war when there's these incredible amounts of money that people make out of war. Why isn't that incredible amount of money put into the safety of the soldiers if we need war in the first place? Actually, if it came down to me, I wouldn't have wars. But if you have wars, someone is making an incredible amount of money in the background, and yet the soldiers are being put in the front lines, and in the First World War going over the trenches, Second World War running into machine gun fire in some instances, like on D-Day. Those brave men doing that for us. Why wasn't all that money being made in the background put into actually invading those beaches on D-Day? Very big question, very big question. But that's part of the polarization, is the wars, the politics, the religions. It's all set to part us, and we're all being parted from it, and it's really starting to affect many different people. So if you are feeling alone, then focus on yourself. You are a completely unique human being, absolute unique. No one could make you the way that you are. You are incredible, priceless. You are already rich beyond your wildest dreams, because nobody, with all the money and the resources in the world, nobody could make you. Nobody. So always remember that you are rich. And once you realize you're rich, you realize I create happiness. R-I-C-H. Realize I create happiness. So when you're feeling alone and feeling rejected, or even outside of your society, reach out. Reach out. Doesn't matter how small it is. Just keep reaching out and trying to expand your heart energy to get out there. Because if we don't connect with each other, and especially with this coronavirus, with all the crazy stuff that's coming in at the moment, masks, you can't see people smiling, you can't connect with people properly. It's very difficult with the eyes, when the eyes are really cold looking at you, no facial expression, and you're not allowed to hug. You feel somebody's energy a lot more. And the reason we hug is really good for our heart, and also good for our immune system, because we're connecting with each other through a hug. All of that is being pushed to the side, so our connections are even getting further and further apart. So we are being polarized. So to feel alone actually is quite natural. in this circumstance because we are being polarized. If you get out into nature and you start to really feel the symbiotic nature, that when the tree is breathing out oxygen, you're breathing that in, you're breathing out the carbon dioxide, the tree is breathing that in, with all the greenery around you when you're out in nature. That's all part of the symbiotic relationship that we have. We are nature. So when people say get back into nature, actually get back into being around other human beings. I know it can be difficult at some point, especially if you're feeling very alone, depressed, upset, but it's that effort of changing your energy, raising your vibration and putting out what you want back. Because if you want happiness, joy, love to come towards you, put out happiness, joy and love, because the universe will see that. Oh look, there's love there, and you will get abundance of it. If you're in lack and you're feeling depressed means deep rest, feeling deep rest inside of yourself. So feeling that recovery time where you feel, the burden of this material world is really got me down. That's what you feel like when you start to get depressed. I always say that just being a human being, when you really focus on yourself and being a human being, is hard enough anyway. It's hard enough anyway without all these exterior material pressures that we have in today's society, which I think are all upside down. And that's not coming from me, that's from a very, very long line of research that I've done, and researching other researchers who've gone even deeper into the rabbit hole that we live in, that this is all upside down. This is all totally wrong. We're battling with nature rather than living with it. We're battling with each other rather than living with each other. And when you realize in the spirit of cooperation, you can build so much. But when you're in a mode of separation and you feel like there's competition all around you, it will be the one who will go for the big pie at the end of the challenge. The most ruthless, in the most ruthless and psychopathic manner, will win the prize. So really, do we want that? Do we want that? No, no. It's big enough for all of us. This experience and the world is set up to be big enough for all of us. There was a researcher who said that the population of the world could actually fit in Australia, and you wouldn't be crammed. You'd be living in quite a nice house, thank you very much. And the top quarter of Australia could be used to create the food. So you'd have all this other rest of the planet that would be natural. So, you know, we can be together. We can expand the population. Don't fall for this one. This is the next thing that's going to be coming. Is going to say, oh, there's too many people on the planet. Let's do this, let's do that. It's because they're cramming people into cities. People are getting crammed into cities, and that's where a lot of the illnesses are coming from. The psychosis, the problems, the violence, the sickness spreads quicker, the cleanse. It's not very clean now. When I go into London, it's not very clean at all. It's like the pollution, and it's not just coming from the cars. It's like people just chucking rubbish everywhere. That is you separating from your environment when you start to mess up your own environment. So don't feel alone. We are connected. There's an enormous growing community on the internet now, and that is going into the real communities. So reach out and find people, like-minded people who are feeling alone and detached, and just talk, say what you feel, because there's going to be more empathetic people who are going to be listening to you and responding to you in the proper manner. So because your responsibility is your ability to respond. So if you need somebody to talk to, talk. If you want to leave a comment at the bottom of this video, please do, and I will respond. I will respond to you. So if you're feeling isolated, feel like you're alone, you're not. We're all connected. That's scientific proof. The scientific proof is there. You do your research. So don't feel alone. You're connected. Thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Sarang Hamida.